Today's Gospel is one of 5 controversy passages in Mark's Gospel. The controversies were issues that were critical in Jesus' time and in the early church, that is, Mark's time. The controversies were about fasting, forgiveness of sins, eating with unclean people, and 2 others about the Sabbath, basically about what it is acceptable or not according to the law to do on the Sabbath, that is, work and healing. Jesus' time was a time of controversies of all sorts: theological, cultural, political, and more. Jesus taught reconciliation, peacemaking, forgiveness, healing, and love. That, he said, was the nature of the reign of God, which was beginning in your hearing. Yet he was himself a controversial figure, a man around whom controversy swirled. And Jesus took sides in those controversies, in solidarity with the poor, the widow, the outcast, the lepers, against religious and political power and oppression. Now and then, we see that reign breaking in, but it has still only just begun. Our country, too, was born out of controversies. Most of the colonies were founded as a reaction to oppression of one sort or another. The American Revolution was born in controversy, no matter whether you think it was a political, economic, or class struggle. Perhaps the clearest and most tragic case of all, the Civil War, grew from a controversy over the extension of slavery to the territories and the sin of racism. The controversies are still present today, but at least now we can name them, try to understand their roots, and struggle together to overcome and heal them. The controversies about the Sabbath do have something to say to us today. God gave us the Sabbath to restore and renew us for the new week to come. Jesus knew, as he wants us to know, that feeding the hungry, forgiving sins, and healing come before scrupulous observance of the law. God gave us the Sabbath rest, not to oppress us with rules and regulations, but to re-energize and renew us. God is still calling us to feed the hungry, to heal the sick, and to be renewed, and it is still controversial. The controversies of the last 4 years and the sins of the last 400 years have come to a climax in the last 2.5 months. A friend of mine who lives in beautiful Colorado called it the madness in Washington. In the midst of this chaotic crescendo of controversy, we will be given a powerful, sacred moment: the inauguration of a new president and vice president, the possibility of a new beginning. While tomorrow is not strictly speaking a Sabbath, it is a day of rest from work for most of us, except, of course, those working to protect us. May it be for our country and for all everywhere a day of forgiveness and healing, a breaking in of the reign of God. In the words of the collect of today's Mass, Almighty ever-living God, who governs all things, both in heaven and on earth, mercifully hear the pleading of your people and bestow your peace on our time. Amen.